Welcome back to the Treehouse Mates, Old Head Gaming here, and I know the XYZ event is going on, our first event. It's been a lot of fun. We built the Traptrix deck earlier in the week to play in it, but today I'm going to focus on something that should be a next event, which is Synchros. And as you know, if you've ever watched me streaming or my videos, I do prefer to play Synchros. I know it's old school, I know it's not the preferred meta. Let's be honest, right now most people are running Link decks or Eldritch, whichever you want to do, but I still like to play the old school decks because I find them more fun. I don't want to spend endless turns playing Prank Kids or Tri-Brigades, even though Tri-Brigades are tremendously powerful. But in this case, we're going to show you, first I'm going to show you what my deck looks like. I run mostly Blackwings. I do have a Stardust deck too, but we're going to use the Blackwings deck for this video. And of course, if you like the content, please drop a like and a comment below and smash that subscribe button. It really does help the channel. And of course, I cover Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, Pokemon Arceus, Horizon Forbidden West, and dropping this week, we have a new game coming, and that's Elden Ring. So if you want to see me die in some Soulsborne starting Friday, check me out there. Now, we're going to go over and we're going to do some matches after this deck explanation. But of course, what I'm going to dive into is two things. In this deck, I run two real ace monsters, and they both serve different purposes because of their special abilities. But the one we're really going to focus on, which is a meta deck breaker, and this is a card that it's a super rare. It's not even hard to make. I run one. I've contemplated going to two in certain decks, including ones that have high synchros. And it's Beelze the Diabolical Dragons, the King of the Underworld, the three-headed behemoth. This guy right here, Beelze, has been a card I've run for years. I ran it in the main game. I've run it in Duel Links. I've run it in Legacy of the Duelists. I run it here. And no matter what you do to it, it doesn't die. It's like a very similar approach as running Crooked Cook if you are a XYZ user, except the difference is it's not as impervious to removal as Crooked Cook is. So here's the thing about Beelze, and we'll go into a little more once I explain the deck, and of course you'll see it in action when I actually play some Platinum Duels, is Beelze is the important thing to get out first. If I can't get Beelze out because of the way my stars run, you got to do that math. Once the math is done, then you get what you need. So if I can get Beelze out, I'm going for Beelze, because Beelze cannot be destroyed by battle. It cannot be removed by card effects. It can be banished. So that leaves it susceptible to Tri-Brigades. Or if I get to level 10 stars, then I'm going to bring out Blackwing Full Armor Master because of his abilities of he can be destroyed by battle, but no other effect actually plays to him. So those two ace monsters allow my Synchro deck to handle most of what the meta decks do. And whether you're running any kind of meta deck, I can still pretty much keep myself in it to get what I need to with those two monsters, as long as I can summon them before you do. And of course, let's take a look at what's in the deck, and I'll show you that it's still viable to use in Platinum. So first, we're going to look at the monsters, and we're going to look at the side deck, and I'll explain why I run everything. And of course, it is a Synchro deck, but there is 3 monsters in the side deck that aren't Synchro monsters for, purposes of need. So the first thing I'm going to run in this case is for a good Blackwings deck is we're going to run Blackwing Arashi. It's a normal Blackwing, level 1 tuner, can be summoned from your hand if you have a Blackwing on the field, and also when it's used as synchro material, it allows you to change the position of one monster to field, whether you want to change it from defense to offense or offense to defense. The next thing, I run 3 Blizzard of the Far North. Great card. It's a level 2 tuner. When summon allows me to drag a level 4 or lower monster out of my graveyard, so it helps to basically set up its own synchro summon. Now, the only problem is it cannot be special summon itself. Of course, Max C. Everyone knows what Max C is. You always need 1 in your deck, at least. Some people run more. I run 1. And then, of course, 3 Hermatan the Dust. Now, Hermatan's awesome because when it can be summoned directly from your hand if you have a Blackwing on the field, and then allows you to absorb the stars of another monster. So, if you have a level 4 monster on the field, you summon it, you can change this to a level 6, for example. 3 Gale the Whirlwind. It's always a great Great card to play. It's a level 3 tuner. Also, when it's on the field, once per turn, you can half the attack of an opposing monster. So you summon it, you half your monster, and then use it for a Synchro summon. It can also be summoned from the hand without if there is another Blackwing on the field. And then Colette the Moonshadow is a level 3 monster, not a tuner, but can be played as a hand trap from the hand, where it allows you to apply its 1400 attack directly to a monster that's being attacked or on attack. Paniki, the Waxing Moon, is a level 3 tuner, cannot be summoned from his hand, so you always want to play this one first, but when it's taken from the field to the graveyard, at the end of the turn, it allows you to pick any Blackwing and add it directly to your hand. So it's always nice to be able to play it, summon something with it, and then grab something at the end of your turn. Gladius, the Midnight Sun, is an old school card. It's a non-tuner. It allows you to be summoned from your hand if you only have one Blackwing on the field. So if there's any other monster, you cannot summon it from your hand. And it also cannot be destroyed by battle the first time. So sometimes it's a great card to lay if you're stuck in a crappy pool of your hand. Put it down in defense mode. You got 2 defenses at a level 15. Ash Blossom. We all know what Ash Blossom does, and it's a great card to have. Everyone should have at least one in your deck. Bore the Spear can be summoned directly from your hand. It is a level 4 non-tuner. It also does piercing damage when it attacks defense monsters. Shura, the Blue Flame, is a level 4 non-tuner. It cannot be summoned from your hand, but when it does destroy a monster on the field, you can summon a 1500 or less attack monster without its effect directly to the field. What I normally would do is I would summon Shura, destroy a crappy monster, get Paniki directly to the field, use it for Synchro summon, bring out a level 7 monster, level 10 monster, preferably if I have a chance to, and then at the end of the turn I still get Paniki's effect to activate from the graveyard. So it's a great combo right there. Koji the Daybreak cannot be used as special summon material, so what you want to do is, unless you could use a level 4, so we do have some level 4 XYZ monsters in our side deck, so you can use it for that, but if it is special summon, it can't Synchro. It is a level 4 tuner, it cannot be summoned from the hand. Zephyros the Elite is a level 4 non-tuner. It can be summoned from your graveyard by spending 400 life points and knocking something back into your hand, whether it's like Black Whirlwind or another monster, and then it can be resummoned back to the field. Chris, the Crack of Dawn, is a great card because it ignores the first trap played against it. So Chris, the Crack of Dawn, is a great card to play first. If you think they're going to try to do a trap or something that's going to clear the field or just cause a monster to be negated, it's a great card to play because it will ignore the first trap. Also can be summoned directly from your hand if you have a Blackwing on the field. Sorako the Dawn is a great card to have first if you're going second. Now, this deck I prefer to go second, honestly. And if there's a monster on their side of the field, you can summon this level 5 monster as a normal summon. Also, it has a special effect that if you have, say, 5 Blackwings on the field, you can transfer all the combined attack to one monster. So sometimes it's really good to just drive a ton of damage when you only have one attack. Elfin the Raven is a level 6 monster you can normal summon if you have another Blackwing on the field. Also, when summoned, it allows you to change the position of a monster on the field. And now we get to our magic cards. So for our spell list, we have Monster Reborn, Galaxy Cyclone, Synchronized Realm. I'm going to go in this one a little bit because it's not something I've done in a previous video. Synchronized Realm's a great card to have if you're running a lot of Synchro Summons. So basically all you do is you put it on the field, and every time you Synchro Summon, it's 500 direct damage to your opponent. Black Whirlwind is the must-have for any Blackwing deck. Basically, you put it on the field, and anything... Whenever you normal summon a Blackwing monster, you can take another one from your hand that has less attack. Mirror Force, Magic Cylinder, Dimensional Prison, Scrap Iron Scarecrow, Delta Crow, Anti-Reverse. So it can be done either way. So if you don't have 3 Blackwings already on the field, then what you want to do is you want to lay it down. But if you have 3... all you need to do is play it from your hand, and it destroys the entire face down back row. Black Sonic has saved me numerous times over the last 15 years. Basically, it'll banish any attack monster on your opponent's side if they attack a Blackwing. So it's a great way to clear an entire field if they go for one of your Blackwing monsters. Ice Dragon's Prison, I feel like most of us know it's a great card. Allows you to steal a monster from their graveyard, put it on your side of the field, and then banish both. So you basically take their monster, banish another one from their side of the field that is of the same type. And finally, Solemn Strike. Pay 1,500, negate the activation or summon. Very simple deck. It's 41 cards. And then we get to the side deck. First, I have Garden Rose Maiden. Now, I don't run any Black Rose monsters, so I don't get the full effect of it, but I use it in case one of my dragons does get destroyed, because I can banish this from the graveyard to resurrect a dragon. And I do run 2 dragons in my side deck. So first, we're going to go over the actual monsters that are Blackwing monsters in the Synchro deck. I run 2 Nothung the Starlight. When this monster is summoned, you can deal 800 of direct damage. You also can lower a monster's attack by 800, and you get a second normal summon as long as it's a Blackwing monster. Blackwing Armor Master is the oldest and most truest Blackwing in the deck, and here's the reason why. It's been around since Blackwings have been created. It was not an add-on to the deck, and the reason I keep this is 2 reasons. One, sometimes it's nice to just have a monster that can't be destroyed by battle and can lower all your opponent's monsters to 0, and 2, it's a non-tuner, because a lot of level 7 Blackwings are tuners, and sometimes I want to be able to go from here straight to my ace monster for Blackwings, which is Blackwing Full Armor Master, which can't be destroyed by effects. It can't be even activated by effects. So also, anytime your opponent monster activates an effect, it puts a Blackwing feather on it, and if it's still on their next turn and Blackwing's on the field, Full Armor Master can then steal that monster. My other level 7 non-tuner is Blackwing Tamer. So Obsidian Hawkjoe allows 2 things. One, you can bring a level 5 Blackwing once per turn from your graveyard and put it back on the field. Also, if there's an attack or a magic effect on it, it can convert that to another Blackwing monster and keep it on the field. Most of us know Rikiri the Rain Shower. Basically, for every Blackwing on the field, you can destroy a card of your choice. And of course, the other Assault Blackwing is Cheatery the Rain Sparkling. Basically, every Blackwing in the graveyard powers it up 200 attack. And if this card is destroyed and there's a Synchro monster in your deck that is a Winged Beast type, you can then summon it back in its place. Stardust Dragon is a great card to have for many reasons. Stardust, of course, is basically very similar to the stats of most dragons, 2,500, 2,000, but its special ability what makes it so good. Anytime a trap or a spell card is going to destroy one card or a bunch of them, you can basically tribute this monster, send it to the graveyard, negate that effect, and then, of course, bring it back at the end of the turn, reborn as Stardust does. One of my favorite monsters, no matter how the game changes, is Beelze The Diabolical Dragons. It is the king of the underworld, and basically the only thing you can do is banish it. It can't be destroyed, it can't be affected by magic or trap cards, regardless of what spells they use against it. Every time you take direct damage or the card takes damage, it absorbs it as attack. It's an amazing card. Finally, we get to the Link and the overlay. So we carry 2 overlays. First one is number 101, Silent Honor Arc. Basically allows you to steal with both overlays 1 monster that is special summoned from their side of the deck. And the final one is Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon. With both its overlays, you can then take half of a monster's attack and add it to your own. Both are level 4 overlay monsters, because there is a lot of level 4 cards, and they're very easy to get out by using Blackwings. And then finally, Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. We all know this card. I've talked about it on numerous occasions. I run it pretty much in most of my side decks. 3 monsters needed to summon it. If there is a level 7 monster in there, it ignores effects against it. And every time it destroys a monster, you can activate one of these effects. You can add 1,500 attack. You could banish a monster or card from the field. Or the last option is to next turn have a second attack. And that's what my tuner deck looks like. And we'll run it actually inside of a duel. So when we duel, if I could win a coin toss, yay! I'm going to go first. my deck's not really designed for going first as a Blackwings Synchro deck. But let's be honest, you can't go second in Platinum. Like, if you go second in Platinum, you're going to get either pinned down or you're going to get overrun. So, we're not going to do that. I kind of want to see what he's up to. So, what I'm going to do is summon a monster that's kind of a pain in the ass. Which is, of course, Armor Master. Now, Armor Master's fine, but it's not really scary enough for first turn. So, what we're going to actually do is we're going to bring out Beelze. Beelze is a great card to kind of figure out what they're doing. And because if I don't know what he's actually running, even though Beelze can't be destroyed by card effects or by damage, I'm going to put in defense mode because I don't know if he's running cybers or anything along those lines. So that way I can, if he's running a cyber deck, he could just absorb. Also, because of using Fadiki, I can then take one card and put it in directly into my hand, which of course, as usual, unless I need something very specific, will be Blackwing Blizzard the Far North, because then I'll be able to pull a card back out of my graveyard for summoning on the next turn. He's laying one card down, another card down, and we're going to... It's a Traptrix deck. Okay. It's a good thing I was out first, because otherwise it could be a lot of trouble. Now, as you know, I do play Traptrix as well. So it's actually good I went first and got Beelze on the field. Beelze can cause him a lot of trouble. So we're going to draw. We're going to Dimensional Prison. We'll put on the field, like, attacking's not really the plan right away with Traptrix. It's more about attacking your opponent. And I'm going to take care of this card. Let's see what that was. That was Solemn Strike. We'll see if we can actually summon something, because we may or may not be able to, depending on what the other card was. But we're going to try. Oh, Haunted Mansion. So he played Haunted Mansion from his hand to negate the effect. Which is fine. It was not what I was hoping for, but we will do what we need to do. Now, because Beelze is on the field, there's really not much a Traptrix deck can do to get rid of it. Because Traptrix are counter decks. He's already there. My big-ass monster is already on the field. Not a whole lot it can really do to get rid of Beelze. So he's going to summon Diona. He's going to pull a Traptrix. We'll see what his plan is to try to deal with Beelze. Depends on what he's got in his side deck. Right now it looks like he's running a 13 card side deck. But the only thing he could have possibly in there that could really cause a problem for Beelze would maybe be Silent Arc, which I run in my Traptrix deck as well. But let's see what he does. I still have Dimensional Prison down in case he goes to make a move. So it's going to be an overlay. But he's bringing Rathlesia out, which is annoying, but it's not going to cause a problem for this. So I'm not sure what he expects to do with Rathlesia versus Beelze. Magic Cylinder is kind of worthless in this case, but we're gonna actually tribute summon and get a stronger monster out just for the damage. I know, I wanted him to use his card. I should have waited till the end of the turn. I know better than that. That was a bad move. I was kind of hoping to see if he had something else playable from his hand, which is the reason I made the move, but it just ended up blowing up in my face. But that's all right. He still can't do anything about Bleeze, which is the problem for him. And he's down to 4,500 life points. As long as Bleeze stays on the field, I'm kind of in the driver's seat. Now, he's going to bring Rafflesia back, which means I can only attack her, but she doesn't have any overlay units. So we're going to see what I get. I'm not sure I understand that move. Unless you're trying to kill yourself. Alright. That doesn't help anything. We're going to kill Rafflesia again. Because that's the only card I can attack. So while Bleeze is on the field, it's a really big problem for a Traptrix counter deck. Not much he can really do right now but stall until he finds something that in his deck that he can use, or he brings something from his side deck that he can counter with. Right now I also have 2 traps of my own on the field, and that's the end. Synchro Monsters with the victory. And this is how Synchro Monsters can actually be viable in a Platinum Duel. Now remember, Synchro decks, you need to go first. Even if your deck is built to go second. In Platinum, you can't. As you saw in the last match, I was able to win strictly against that Traptrix deck because of the fact I had Bleeze on the field. Bleeze is a card, if you're playing Synchro Monsters, can definitely be a huge help and make things a lot easier for you. So, we did get Solemn Strike on the field. That can be quite helpful. It's not the end-all and the be-all, but it does give us a chance. We'll see if these go through. Looks like they're going through pretty clean, which means I'll be able to take what I want. Which I'm going to want 1 monster at level 1 tuner, and then 1 monster, a level 3 tuner. And we're going to grab both and put them on the field. And this is kind of a backup to a backup, because you never know if someone is running evil kaijus in their deck, especially at this level, because that is one of the few ways you can get rid of Beelze the Diabolical Dragon is by tributing it. So we put Rose Garden in the graveyard, because then what can happen is I can later banish her if I need to re-summon Bleeze if it gets tribute summoned or it gets sent to the graveyard for some reason by some sort of effect that I couldn't negate. And like always, we put Bleeze in defense mode because of the fact that we're not sure what he's actually running. So unless it's Tri-Brigades, we're going to be in pretty good shape with Bleeze already on the field. Because Tri-Brigades can still banish him. And let's see what that first summon is. Going to destroy my spells and traps because he can't destroy Bleeze. So that sucks. That's 2 of my 3 Black Whirlwinds. And a Solemn Strike. That was a huge loss of equity in our back row. I think he wanted to go for my dragon, and then was just like, I have no choice at this point. Lightning Strike is a really good card. I mean, Lightning Storm kind of gives you the choice of what you want to go after. I firmly believe he's running Drytons, but Bleeze is already out there. So even with that, he's going to have a lot harder time getting around Bleeze, because most of the effects that Drytons do are counter effects. A lot like what we saw with that Traptrix deck. And with him already out there's nothing really to counter at that point. He's just going to sit there and do whatever the hell he wants. 2 cards down, 1 card on the field. Sure is actually a really good... Oh, and he destroyed his monster. All right. So, we grabbed a really good card in this case. A good top draw. And we're waiting to see. All right. He's gonna take Zephyros from the grave. That's fine. He can do that. It would have been nice to be able to get a little more firepower out there, but it's not the end of the world. Let's go do some damage. We'll take 13. We'll take another 3K. And we're really putting him in a hole. He just got forced to use a card he probably didn't want to do. And because he took out Zephyros, that means Rose Maiden Garden... Because he took out Zephyros, that means Garden of the... Because he took out Zephyros, it means Garden Rose Maiden is still in the graveyard if necessary. Alright. Can he make a ritual summon at this point? Let's find out. He's down to 3,700 life points. Drytron decks are not used to losing. And I have no fear of Cybers to, like, try to take me out. So, in that case, I'm free to let Bleeze just chomp away. Because even if he attacks Bleeze with a higher level monster, all it's going to do is increase his damage anyway. So Bleeze is kind of free to be Bleeze at this point. We still have Blackwing Shura of the Blue Flame in case he leaves a little stinky monster out there for me to kill. Because then I could do a free summoning of Paninki and keep things rolling right now until I get my last Black Whirlwind out of my deck. So he's gonna summon Hermatin. Hermatin's a pain in the butt. Here comes that ritual summon. One thing about Drytron decks, unfortunately, they're really good at moving in and out and getting what they need. Oh, he summoned Cyber Angel. I did not see that coming. All right, interesting. I don't play Drytons. I guess that was the best first move to make. And Beatrice, okay. So he's going to summon Beatrice. Put Cyber Angel back in his graveyard. Send a card to the graveyard as well. Man, I wish I could just get Max C ever in my hand. I don't know how many matches I played today where I just couldn't get a Max C out. We'll see how many more tricks he has up his sleeve. He lowers the attack. He's going to get his ritual graveyard summon, which he'll then use, of course, to bring back Herald of the Ultimateness. But first, he's going to bring out Mu Beta Fenrir. Got another card to the graveyard. He's still trying to figure out what he can do to get rid of Bleeze. And this is the key to going first, because none of the cards he's brought out can really do anything against my dragon. Sure, he could do some damage to me by killing Blizzard of the Far North, but my dragon's just going to be like, hey, buddy, there's nothing he's brought out so far that can do any single thing to my dragon. And this is the key to going first and platinum. So if you're just getting there, regardless of whether your deck's designed to go first or not, you kind of have to make a play and have a card that you can summon that really is going to cause a hindrance in this cog that all these decks use. So here's Natasha. She gets some of her life points back from Natasha, which is good because Bleeze has put a hurting on him so far. And now here comes something. 1, 2, 3. Nightmare Unicorn. So he puts Blizzard of the Far North back in the graveyard. Or back at, sorry, he puts Blizzard of the Far North back in my hand. He puts Blizzard of the Far North back in my deck with Nightmare Unicorn. I would have thought he would have gone for Bleeze. That's a interesting choice. So we'll see what he's planning to do next. I honestly would have believed that you would have want to put Bleeze back in the side deck over Blizzard of the Far North, but that was not my choice. Nightmare Unicorn was a great move. He could have really done some serious damage with Nightmare Unicorn, and he missed the opportunity. So far, he's still figuring out how to get rid of my dragon. My dragon's unkillable. Even if he tries to use his Herald, it's still won't do anything. So tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. And he gives up. Bleeze wins! And this is why you go first. Synchro summon your Mega Dragon and let all these wonderful, wonderful meta decks get stalled out. The only deck it could actually be defeated by is Tri-Brigades, because once you get to that level 4 Tri-Brigade summon, there's nothing Bleeze can do to him getting banished. But if you're going against any other meta deck, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. So, as you can see, Synchro decks can be completely viable by these two matches running in Platinum. And we just made a Drytron deck submit to my dragon. Bow down before the king of the underworld. And that's my Blackwings Synchro deck. You can run other Synchro decks. We got Stardust here. We believe in the Yugioh heart of the cards. And of course, thanks for watching. Happy dueling and later, mates!